Sailor Tarot Magic is the spot to get a reading from Sally, an intuitive healer and tarot reader. Known as the Nurturing Reader at New Jersey street fairs, you can also check out our YouTube channel for lunar and astro readings, as well as our Instagram for live weekly readings. Her rates are affordable, and you will leave with a newfound perspective. Sally is now offering an introductory class on tarot cards and intuition, and is available for parties. Call or text 732-314-0777 to schedule your reading today.
And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh!
Burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Swag.
A push for the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it at Auto Club. Here comes Bentley Glazer. Does he time the move? He goes high. Shimano Black turns the 33.
Contact there entering turn 1.
Around goes the 9. Oh, he comes back at the track and he gets squattered. Josiah picks it up into the air. Hello and everybody, welcome to tonight's coverage of the Up There Disc Golf 100 from the Road America Raceway. And ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a wild one about to be brewing here for race 10 of the BTDY Racing Series season. And I'm Alec Martinez, and joining me tonight is my producer as well as co-commentator Logan Thurkeld. Logan, it's good to have you once again. Back-to-back weeks this time, and this time we're going left and right here on one of America's largest road courses, and one of the largest road courses and most well-known road courses in all of the world.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, Alec. It's going to be a good race. Left and right hand turning in these cars is going to be a hassle, but you know, watching these guys in practice for the last hour, they're going to put on a good show for us tonight for sure.
Yes, sir, they are. And as qualifying has begun, as before we get to qualifying laps, let's get a quick look at our points here for the BTDY Racing Series here. Jeff Wright, your points leader, with 317 points. Bailey Turner behind him with 305, only 12 back. Seth Hatchel, last week's winner at Dover, the two-time champion, trailing 20 points back. And, well, there's Brody Hayes, AJ Stravato, Angelo Rodas, Joshua Banks, Noah Mahovsky, Cody Atkins, Mark Emerson, Chris Simard, Dallas Sullivan, currently the last driver holding in the final spot for the chase for the BTDY Cup. Well, looking behind him, he's got a few hungry drivers behind him. Keith Mott, 1 point behind the cut line. Nick Starling, 2 points behind. And Justin Carey, 4 points behind, and then a little bit behind is Max Costa, all the way down to Eric Hutton here tonight. And, well, these points are going to get wild. As I said, race 10, and, well, there's only 13 races in the regular season. So let's go down to the racetrack here as qualifying has begun for the Up There Disc Golf 100. And, well, I'll tell you what, there's only 5 minutes. Will he be able to get enough time in? That's a good question. Is there Seth Hatchel, last week's winner from the Dover International Speedway, I guess Dover Motor Speedway now, but we were talking about this, Logan, in the pre-race show. Only 2 minutes or 5 minutes, so a lap normally takes, 2 minutes, 13 seconds. So you better hightail down there and see if you can get your lap in. As you can see, this track, a lot of corners. And if I'm not mistaken, I think, 16 or 14 turns here at Road America. Technically, I guess they count it, but a lot of turns to navigate and cannot afford a mistake, because track position, I think we all believe, is going to be pretty important and at a premium here tonight. Still, and might I point out for everybody as well, 1 stage caution at lap 10. So I don't know if there's any stage points allowed, but I think more of a competition caution, if anything. So this race is going to be very interesting. How about AJ Stravato? Probably tonight going in as the favorite in the 33. And I do want to get an onboard with him and just see how he attacks this corner. Right now, he's going into turn number 6, down on the brakes, gets right over the curb, into 6, hardest braking turn you're going to probably have other than maybe turn 1, up here into what the famous Corvette corner, and up the hill, blind corner entry, left-handed seat, knocks it loose a little bit, gets the left sides up, then the right side's on the curb, carries the momentum off into a hard, sharp right-hander, got to carry a lot of momentum, and then it's downhill into turn number 8, and then into the hurry downs, down probably about a second gear turn as tires begin to fall off, comes right up off the left-hander, and then into turn number 9 and 10, and under the Johnsonville Bridge and the carousel, probably one of the most fun corners. Honestly, all these corners are so fun to go, but this corner is so crucial for lap time to get up off of the corner, get a good exit under the Henry Bridge, and then into the most famous corner on this racetrack, the kink, turn number 11, hard, fast right-hander, carries momentum down into the turn, and then down into turn number 12, you see the brake signs here going to be on the left side of that A post. He's going to get on the left side, and then he's going to get on the brakes here into Canada corner, then hard right-hander, going to carry some momentum off here. There's a little bit of runoff, and then into 13 down Thunder Valley, into turn number 13 here, a little bit of a left, then a little bit of a short shoot under one more billboard, usually where you're going to want to brake, and then going to get a nice right-hander, and then try to carry all that momentum up this long front stretch and over a hill.
It's not an easy track by any means, and to take the time to remember all of these corners and be able to hit them perfectly, that's what's going to take to win this race here tonight. As you can tell, Road America's not very wide. There's not going to be very many passing opportunities, and when you can, you have to be careful.
And as we talk about that right now, it's qualifying barely coming to an end. How about Brody Hayes, another pole? I mean, man, he is turning into Ryan Newman right now. And how about that? Brody Hayes, another pole. And looks like a lot of guys not going to get their laps in. So Hayes, going to be your pole sitter. And wow, how about that? And really a quick qualifying session for a road course. Not many guys going to get their laps in. And how about we go to our starting grid here? And like you can see at the right now, the moment, the weather kind of overcast, but I think as we talked about as well, currently right now, 67 air temp. We expect as this race continues to go, it's going to get hotter and hotter. So we expect the track temp to go hotter, as well as cars running on the racetrack, going to make that track temp go up, maybe above 90, maybe 100 degrees. I don't know if it'll go up 30, but it can go up, and it'll be very interesting. And again, Brody Hayes, your pole sitter. And let's go into our starting grid here for tonight's Up There Disc Golf 100. Brody Hayes with the 2 minute 12 second, or 2 minute 12 second, or 12.5 second lap time, with AJ Stravato, the Italian Stallion, Going to roll off second, probably the favorite in this race, only 7/1000ths of a second behind. Row number 2 is Bailey Turner and Keith Mayato. Row number 3, the Magic Man, Adam Cabot, going to be rolling off 5th, and Alex Pelican going to roll off in 6th. Row number 4 has last week's winner, the two-time champion Seth Hatchel, and then Dennis Faircloth, somebody who's not is very familiar with success at Road America, could be one to watch, starting up in 8th. Points leader Jeff Wright is going to roll off in 9th, and Chris Samar, the last car to take a time, will roll off in 10th.
Coming in 11th with no qualifying time, so it's just kind of whoever got lucky at this point. Joshua Banks in the 35 next to Ray Massey. Angelo Ronis in the 13th position, and Ryan Gimmel in the 14th position. Caleb Weekly in the 7 car coming in 15th next to Justin Carey. Cody Adkins in the 55 taking 17th place, and Dallas Sullivan, and appears to be an issue there. He should be in 18th. I'm not sure why it says 19th.
Yeah, Mark
Anyways,
Beverly, is not in the race. He was entered in 18th, but won't be racing here tonight.
that makes sense. So behind them, we have Noah Mikulski and Nick Gardner.
Yeah, and then in 21st will be Max Cost. I know it says 22nd, but little scoring issue, not on our part, but on, I guess, iRacing's part here. So Cost can be rolling off 21st. Dice will roll off in, I guess, 22nd. Then behind them, the final row, 24 cars going to round up the field tonight, with Mark Beverly not starting the race. Nathan Ostrowski in 23rd, and Wesley Dumphy will be rolling off in 24th. And I don't know if we do we have a track fact board here?
I do believe so. We'll see if we can find that.
I'm not sure. We got a little time. There's a long pace lap here as well, so
It is indeed.
we do have time, and if we absolutely need to get somebody in there, we can. If we don't, it's all good. It's all good, and like we said, 14 turns, a couple famous turns to go with it, as well as Brody Hayes and AJ Stravato will be the front row. And honestly, you know what? We've let everybody know how many turns are. We went with AJ Stravato, and actually, since he is the favorite probably in this race, how about we pull up AJ Stravato and see what he's thinking before we get racing here tonight?
Yeah, absolutely.
AJ Stravato, Alec Martinez, Logan Throkeld in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Well, we know it's a long pace lap, so we might as well get some time with you. I think everybody can mark you here as the favorite. Do you see yourself as the favorite, or are we just trying to make it through and get a solid finish here tonight?
I think we have a good shot at winning for sure. Brody's got some speed, so he's got, I think I don't have an easy task ahead, but I feel pretty good about our speed. Just really not happy with myself with the qualifying lap I put down. I completely botched the hard braking zone, I think, in the 4. So if I didn't do that, I would be looking maybe at a 2:11, but messed up. So hopefully clear that up in the race and bring home a win.
All right, well, we appreciate your time, AJ. Before I let you go, I want to ask you, how's it looking for that stage caution? You pitting before or after?
I think you know the answer to that question, brother.
All right, well, we appreciate your time, AJ. Good luck here tonight, and hopefully we'll be talking to you here at the end of this thing.
Hopefully, man. Have a good one.
All right. That's AJ Stravato, the Italian stallion, rolling off in second as we go down, I guess, the backstretch through the kink and about to get into the Canada corner. Logan, who is your pick to win this race?
You know, I was watching AJ quite a bit in practice, and he was definitely the fastest one on the track. You know, as he stated there, he did have a 2 minute, 12 second, and I think around the .211 area in practice. So he was faster by almost half a second. I would almost have to say AJ Stravato is going to be my pick tonight. It's going to be a close one, though.
I think it's a good pick, and I feel like we're all kind of sleeping on him. He's a great road racer, and he's starting up in the top 5, and I think he needs a good points race, and honestly, why not help your points when you can get a win? I think Keith Mayato might have something for AJ Stravato. They're always by each other, so if he's going to be by AJ, I have to run in second or right ahead of him here. So, but finally, for a long pace lap, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate all of you guys tuning in. And buckle up for 30 laps, 100 miles around Road America. Brody Hayes and AJ Stravato will lead them to the green in the second road course race of the season. It is underway from Road America. Everybody seems to make it through clean. Travato going to tuck in behind Hayes in front of Turner. Hayes looks like to go a little more defensive. Going to have to back up. Travato gets a bump to him. And behind them, they're side by side for fifth. Mayato and Hatchel settle it through. And now it's Pelican and Wright battling right up 2 positions from the start into 7th. And now single file all the way down the backstretch until Chris Amard and Dennis Faircloth. And into turn 4, hard braking zone. Here comes Travato to driver's left of Brody Hayes. Might get the spot, going to have the preferred lane on the exit of the corner, into Corvette corner. Hayes holds on. Now Travato, oh, we got one car off in the gravel trap. It looks like Angelo Ronis in the 29 car is around getting back going.
I saw Rona spinning back there, and
oh, there's more contact up at Corvette corner. I think Ryan Gemmel might have an issue in the 6 car. He does. He has an issue going slow. I don't know if there's a mechanical issue with the 6, but losing, looks like he has no power. Remember, no cautions either. That's a long way to coast around here. Is through the carousel here for the first time under race conditions. It's Hayes, Travato, Turner, Cabot, Mayato, and then Wright, Hatchel, Pelican, Banks, and Faircloth here. The top 10 is through the backstretch they'll go, and the sun starting to peek out here from the clouds. And now down this backstretch and into Canada corner, turn number 12, hard braking zone into a right-hander. Going to let the momentum kind of carry them. And Stravato, good run this time, but got to remember here, 10 laps is a long way to go. 40 miles is just 10 laps. Think about that. That is a long way of racing here on a 4-mile road course. As it looks like Brody Hayes off the final corner will come around to lead lap 1 here of 30.
yeah, like you said, Alec, this track is just long. A little over 4 miles around the entire circuit. This will be the longest track that BTDY races this season.
Yes, it will be. And well, while we're kind of single file right now, I'm curious. I do want to take a look at what happened to Angelo Ronis on that first lap contact. I believe that was with Ryan Gemmel. I'm not sure what happened to the 6 car, but I am very interested to see what happened to Angelo Ronis there on the start. Obviously, the stage caution is going to help him out, but I think that might be something to see. Going to be very interesting to see his charge up through the field once we, I guess, once we get there, and we'll get a replay for you just shortly here. As Ronis back into 20th right now, having to work himself up through the field.
See if we can find this back here a little ways. We're a little bit further back than that.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more here. And I think it was, like you said, a little contact. It seemed like with Ryan Gemmel. I don't know if Gemmel has got it back under speed, but has fallen back. And this is him making moves. I think it was in turn 4, so about another 10 turns behind. It seemed like there was contact, I think, into turn 4, down the hill, down the long straight. But right there, you can see him picking through spots here. And it's all right. We'll cut to a live shot here as he's worked himself up into 19th. Right now, currently battling Alan Dyson as he goes under him here. This is turn number 10, and now going to set him up here for, or excuse me, that's turn number 9. Now into 10 and 11. So a lot of movement here for the 29 car early in this race here, as he's started well, but unfortunately has not figured out he's lost 7 spots because of the contact early. But right now, oh, we got trouble right in front of him. Caleb Weekly around off the carousel. And he gets it back going, but he's going to lose a couple spots.
Take it back here a little ways and see what happened to him.
Yeah, and it looked like off the carousel, which is turn number 11. Looks like he went wide at Dallas Sullivan. Somehow missed him, overcorrected there a little bit, and the car just goes around. No harm, no foul. Doesn't have probably a lot. He has a little bit of damage to the tires, if anything, but other than good save from Caleb Weekly, and gets it righted back in the right direction. So good save here as this field getting a little more spread out as we go, but the top 5 pretty close, only separated by 2.3 seconds. And Brody Hayes, how about the 37 car, keeping some good pace ahead of AJ Stravato?
Yeah, absolutely. Keeping ahead of him by almost a second at this point, which it doesn't look like much on the screen, but any millimeter of distance he can put between him and AJ, it's going to help him. Now, granted, again, they do have the comp caution on lap 10, on the completion of lap 10. So it'll stack everything back up, but, you know, staying up here in front and getting a good lead and really being able to just continue to learn the track is going to be crucial for Brody Hayes tonight.
Yeah, and remember, pit road will close on lap 9, so do we expect guys to bring it down on lap 8? Maybe if you're Brody Hayes or AJ Stravado, you have to pit, maybe pit before the stage. We see it a lot in NASCAR currently on road courses with cautions. You want to bring it in and kind of jump the field. Obviously, guys, I don't think there's any stage points on the line, so you probably want to pit before the stage so you get that track position for the restart. We probably will see 1 or 2 guys try to stay out, and I think, again, not sure if there's a stage caution or a stage point on the line, but nonetheless, you could have a little bit fresher tires if you stay out, but nothing yet. I guess we'll have to wait and see until we get to that lap. And Angelo Rona is still working himself up to the field. He has gotten up to what is, I believe, Cody Atkins around there in the carousel. 55 car going around as he's going to lose 5 or 6 positions in the 55 Lucas Oil Machine. Falling back a little bit to do Justin Carey, big moment. Alan Dice ahead of him, battling there. It's going into the kink here in turn 11, and these guys. Nathan Ostrowski goes wide, might have got the wall. Big run for Carey and Dice. This is the battle for 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. Max Koss closing in as well. Into the Canada corner they go. Look at Koss on the brakes, locking up. He's going to slide. He's going to clip Carey around, and there's a big pile up in a Canada corner. Carey gets tagged by Koss. Dice weakly threads the needle around as Gimmel does as well. And a 4 or 5 car stack up into turn number 12 here on lap number 4.
Take a ride on here. See what happened.
And it looked like battle is for the 17th position. Koss had a big run because of Ostrowski's mistake. I think the guys ahead of him, Carey and Dice, checked up. And it looked like over brakes here, brakes way too late. You hear the wheel hop, and he comes in, clips the 21, spins in front of the 5 and the 55. Those guys get back going, but unfortunately, and the 7 comes through, misses both of them. Gemmel gets a couple spots, but right there, it sounded like a little bit too hard into the corner, and then wheel hop. And unfortunately, that's going to kind of cost them it cost them a whole lot of time. Obviously, the caution's going to help them out, but cost them a lot of time here. No pun intended there for Max Koss, as he'll lose a couple of positions. Is Adam Cabot, Bailey Turner battling inside the top 5. This is 3rd, 4th, and Mayato, the 36 car behind them in 5th. Jeff Wright and Seth Hatchel sitting about 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds back of these guys. So far, I will say, very competitive, way more competitive than Sonoma, where we know that's Jeff Wright's wheelhouse. And although AJ Stravado kept them honest, but this track, it seems like Road America, I think as we go there, it's been one of the lesser road courses that everybody races at. Kind of evens this field again, and right now Brody Hayes doing a phenomenal job kind of keeping up pace with AJ Stravado, but this run going to continue to go on. How much tire is Hayes burning?
He's got to be using up a lot, and you can see on the timing screen that Stravado
is around. I think Wesley Dunphy as well caught up. They've put it in the tire barriers. I believe the 55 has towed it back. Not sure what happened there. Yeah, I saw the 55 off the racetrack and the 56 as well with some contact, but I think for sure Cody Atkins has pulled it to pit lane, and unfortunately I think he's going to be our first retirement of this race here as the battle for the lead starting to heat up a little bit. Stravado slowly but surely starting to run down Brody Hayes for the lead. It makes you wonder, are these tires starting to wear out a little bit?
I think that AJ's just been waiting for a good opportunity to start maybe putting a little bit of pressure on Brody. I couldn't imagine the tires having too much wear and tear now, but at the same time, I have 0 track time here at Road America, so it's I can't say much for it.
Yeah, well, and I'll tell you this, for the time that I've raced around it, this track does tend to wear out tires a little bit. The current Road America form is all repaved, but you'll see IndyCar, IMSA, and I believe Indy Lights and a couple of the road racing series come in a race later in the year. But for NASCAR, unfortunately, not coming to this track this year. Last year was a complete repave. This is the older surface, so not the complete repave that the Xfinity Series raced on last year, in which Sam Mayer won. So a little bit different racing conditions compared to what real life is, but still, nonetheless, it's still the same Road America. None of the turns are turns change. It's just a different racing surface. And right now, these guys, especially with these Xfinity cars, they're going to be slipping and sliding around. I know only 10 laps is going to be this first run. I think the second run's going to be even longer. And remember, every extra lap they go on tires for the next run is 4 miles, 14 turns. So that is a lot of laps and a lot more wear and tear on the tires. If you go an extra 4 laps in the next run, that's 16 more miles. And what is that? 56 more turns.
It's going to come down to strategy. I'm curious to see how the back half of this race is going to go. Like you said, the first stage being only 10 laps doesn't seem like too much, but that second half of the race is going to be 20 laps.
Yes, it is. And Hayes starting to get a little defensive here, trying to, I guess, cover the lunge from the 33. And right here, he's going to have a nice draft down the front stretch, up the hill, under the NTT bridge, and then across the start-finish line to start lap 5. And right now, you'll see, does Stravato, is he willing to lunge it? I know it's early in this race, probably not going to want to push it too early. But Hayes, right there, misses the apex. That's going to allow Stravato get a big run. Does Hayes go defensive line into turn number 4, into 3? Stravato to driver's right of the 37. Going to lock the rears a little bit, lose a little bit of traction. Right there, gets loose, almost contact with Hayes. Hayes fights back, side drafting him down the straightaway and under the Sargento Cheese Bridge here for the 5th time tonight, and in to what will be turn 4 down the front stretch. The 37 side drafting, the 33 down into the turn number 4, hard on the brakes. Stravato to driver's right, Hayes to driver's left. Stravato tries to cross him over, pinches him. There's a little contact, little door banging up the hill into Corvette corner, still side by side. Bailey Turner right behind them if these two get together. Here into turn number 5, Stravato can't hold it, loses traction. Hayes gonna get back in front of the 33 and get right around in front of him. And now into turn number, or down the hill into 7 and into 8 they'll go. Back single file, Hayes holds on to the lead, but he is slipping and sliding because here they come into the carousel. Stravato gonna get back to driver's right. And he's there now. Hayes going to try to pitch him. Stravato gets loose underneath of him. Has to get out of the gas. Hayes holds on to the lead. Will they go side by side into the kink? No, they won't. Stravato slipping and sliding the tires off of the carousel and into the kink.
Some good hard racing already. I'm loving this, Alec.
Yes, there's nothing like watching stock cars getting thrown around here on a big road course. Stravato, will he make a lunge into Canada corner? He won't. And now, don't forget who's behind them in 3rd. Bailey Turner in the 24 has caught up to these 3. It is a 3-horse pony show at the dog races between Turner, Hayes, and Stravato. Hayes misses the corner. Should allow Stravato with the run here into 14. But it looks like he'll stay humble and stay behind him and set him up for turn 1 up the hill. And the entire top 7 is starting to kind of accordion back together here with these guys racing. My auto has chipped about a second out of Brody Hayes' lead, but here comes Stravato, going to make a lunge down the driver's right here into turn 1. And he's there. Hayes won't let it happen. Stravato locks up the right front. This time gets a run. They make a little contact off of turn 1. A little more contact down the hill into turn number 4. Does Stravato use the bumper? He does. Stravato moves Hayes out of the way. There's more contact. Stravato feeds Hayes a fender, and Hayes loses 2 spots, but here comes Turner looking for the lead. And down the backstretch, and here comes Adam Cabot in the 17 car, closing up to the battle. Stravato still with the fight on his hands. Hayes throws a block. There's contact behind. Hayes locks up. Now Cabot locks up. There's contact for 3rd. Stravato gets the lead. Hayes gets loose, saves it, but loses another spot to Mayato and falls back to 5th. Cabot into 3rd, Mayato to 4th. And this, my friends, is solid road course racing from the BTDY Racing Series, continuing to put on a show week in and week out. But Brody Hayes, the pole sitter, has damage, and now starting to fall back here. He's fallen back to 5th in 1 lap.
Unfortunate timing there for Brody Hayes, but he's going to stay close enough that, maybe get a little bit of that damage repair around the same time that he goes in for the tires before that lap 10 comp. See what he can do on the back half.
Yes, we will. And Brody Hayes has fallen back to 5th, as we said. But now the battle for the lead, heating back up. Has Ajay Stravato pushed those tires a little too hard in this first part of the run, because Bailey Turner has caught him into the Canada corner. Stravato looks like he will hops into the corner. Bailey Turner's going to have a run. He goes to driver's right of the 33. He's there up into 12, into 13. Stravato gets out of the gas. They're side by side. Look at this. Klickerman and Karam style into turn 14. Turner going for the lead, locks up. There's contact between him and the 33. They're still side by side racing up the hill. Phenomenal racing. The Xfinity cars continuing to put on a show in BTDY, and nonetheless putting a show on the road course. Bailey Turner leads the lap. Jeff Wright has brought it to pit lane. Will this be a stage strategy to get the 48 out front? Wright into pit road. Turner gets the lead into 1, but here comes the 33 with the crossover. Thinks better of it into 3, and now down into turn number 4, or into turn number 3. And now, and look at this. Oh, he gets loose. The 24 loses the traction off the corner. Adam Cabot, Keith Biotto, Brody Hayes, as well as Seth Hatchel starting to reel these guys in. And down the backstretch they'll go into turn 4. Stravato peeked the nose to driver's left. He goes driver's left. Turner gonna pinch him down. Stravato into the grass, gets loose underneath the 24. And here comes the 17 of Cabot. Into Corvette corner they go. Oh, Stravato struggling on the grip. He is sliding the rear tires, wheel hopping into every corner. Turner pulls about 5 car lengths ahead of Stravato. Now Cabot, the Magic Man, starting to try to find a way around AJ Stravato into turn number 8, and now looking to set up for the carousel. I don't know about you, Logan, but it looks like Stravato might have pushed his tires a little too hard in that beginning run, and he is starting to pay the price.
Yeah, I absolutely underestimated the tire wear in the first 10 laps here.
What does that mean for Jeff Wright, who's pitted early? Is going to have to do a lap under green here before the stage cautions. That'll be interesting. Pit road, going to close this time by. Are any of these guys willing to bring it into pit road? As Turner is your leader, then Stravato, then Cabot, Keith Biotto, Brody Hayes remain the top 5 as Seth Hatchel, Alex Pelican, Joshua Banks, Chris Samard, and Dennis Faircloth will round out from 6th through 10th. And now this will be the most interesting part as they go off a Canada corner and in to turn 13, and in the left-hander, and then the right-hander coming up here, the final corner into turn 14. The question is any of them going to bring it to pit road, or are they going to keep it out here for the stage? Turner will be the deciding factor. Looks like he'll keep it out. So these guys all going to stay out and wait for the stage caution, and it assumes if that's the case, Jeff Wright is going to take the lead of this race. As you can see, Turner staking down the backstretch, in the final lap of the first stage is underway. Can Stravato try to find a way around Bailey Turner to get into pit road first under that next caution? Stravato looks like he gets a little bit wide. That allows Adam Cabot to close the gap up just a little bit more into turn number 3. Turner holds on to the lead. Stravato has about a 2 car length gap over Adam Cabot, and then about a second from Turner to Biotto, and about 2 seconds to Hayes. And Turner's starting to open up that gap just a little bit, wanting a little bit of redemption from last week at Dover. Oh, look at Cabot on the brakes, locks it up, goes wide, misses turn 4, and Biotto gets the spot, and Hayes won't be able to capitalize, but might have a chance into Corvette corner. But looks like a big mistake out of Adam Cabot there, and Hayes now trying to find a way around the 17 here into turn number 6 and into 7. And look at this. The battle for the lead going to continue between Turner and Stravato into 8. Turner holds on the spot, goes defensive. Now defensive in under the Speedville bridge and into the carousel. Gets it loose a little bit. Stravato has a run. Can he get underneath him? Can he loosen up the 24 out of the carousel? Here they come off of turn number 11, setting up for 12. Stravato slipping, sliding out of the corner. Cannot get the throttle down. Into the kink they go. Turner holds on to the lead. Stravato goes a little bit wide, and Turner begins to open up the gap once again as they set up down the backstretch and into Canada corner for the final lap of the stage. Hard under the brakes. Will Stravato have any chances at Turner? Turner misses the apex a little bit, but he gets a better drive off than the 33 into 13 here, and we'll set up for 14 as Hayes has gotten by Adam Cabot for fourth. Off into 14 they'll go. Stravato will not try to pass Turner, and off of 14 and up the hill they go. Bailey Turner will come off the corner, and he will see the green and white checkered flag as Turner wins stage 1. Then it'll go Stravato, Keith Mayato, and Brody Hayes gets a spot on Adam Cabot, and I believe we'll be seeing the caution flag come out here within the next lap. If not, we got another lap of racing, which
I read it correctly. It should be at the completion of lap 10.
Okay, well, then we still got another lap, although Bailey Turner has opened up that gap now to a half a second in the 36. That last time faster than the 33, and even though Brody Hayes kind of fell back, he turned the fastest lap that last time.
Yeah, but he's got quite the gap there ahead of him, almost 2 seconds behind Keith Mayato.
Yeah, Alex Pelican also starting to come alive a little bit. The 31 car has some good pace on this long run. That Mountain Dew car, Doritos Mountain Dew car, is moving up. Oh, look at that. Brody Hayes and Cabot really aggressive over the curbs there into turn 4. How about this? Seth Hatchel has caught the back end of Cabot and Hayes, and Cabot really sliding around in the 17 car, and Hayes starting to slide around in the 37 as well. But Cabot looks like just struggling with the exit of the corner. As for the lead, excuse me, Bailey Turner still holding on here from Stravato, who's still about 2-3 car lengths behind, has yet to find a way around him.
Just a little bit deeper in the field, Angelo Ronas already up to 13th position. Behind him, Ryan Gimmel, after having the issues there at the beginning of the race.
Both of them really good speed, and we'll see what they have at the end of this race. The stage caution gonna bunch everybody back up, and this time it'll be for the stage win. And thank you for correcting me, Logan, there, as the completion of lap 10. And man, this has been some of the best road racing I think I've seen in BTDY, with beating and banging and nobody getting wrecked here. That's about as good as you want to hear. This time Turner goes wide at Canada corner, and this is going to last Stravato with an opportunity here. Can he make a late dive into 14, try to get the stage win here? Off into 13. Turner clips the curb a little bit hard here. Turner defensive line into 14. Stravato's going to have a run. Turner misses the corner. Stravato slides it a little bit, not going to be able to do it. And this time, off of 14, Turner's going to bomb and weave. And this time, Bailey Turner will come across the line and will win stage number 1. And then it's Stravato, Keith Mayato, Brody Hayes, Adam Cabot, and I believe Seth Hatchel gets 6th. Alexander Pelican 7th. Joshua Banks in 8th. Chris Samard going to come home 9th. And Dennis Faircloth, I believe, is going to round out the top 10 here in stage number 1 in the pace car out of pit road. Well, he's going to catch the field very quick. So the question is, can Jeff Wright run these guys down? And I believe we're going to see Jeff Wright stay out here. And like that last time, was 5 seconds off the pace, trying to preserve those Goodyear Racing Eagles.
And Jeff Wright, not the only one to come in on that lap 8 before they close the pit lane there. Jeff Wright. Yeah. So then we're going to have 3 guys up there in the front running.
They got to catch up, though. Jeff will probably run them down. I'm not sure if they're going to catch up in time before they get to the caution here. Although they are in turn 4, the pace car. So Jeff's still got a way to go. He's still about a little bit less than a half a track behind, but like a third of a track behind. So as he catches up and the field catches up, but we cut to a quick commercial break to hear from our sponsors, and we'll be right back for pit stops here after the conclusion of stage 1. We'll be right back.
Sailor Tarot Magic is the spot to get a reading from Sally, an intuitive healer and tarot reader. Known as the Nurturing Reader at New Jersey Street Fairs, you can also check out our YouTube channel for lunar and astro readings, as well as our Instagram for live weekly readings. Her rates are affordable, and you will leave with a newfound perspective. Sally is now offering an introductory class on tarot cards and intuition, and is available for parties. Call or text 732-314-0777 to schedule your reading today.
back live here at the racetrack from Road America. Pit stops underway after the completion of stage 1. Bailey Turner leads him into pit road. You'll see the 48 car probably stay out here, and he will assume the lead of the race here after what was a early pit stop here. And pit stop is going to be important. Going to get fuel, tires, and now question is, will you be able to make it on fuel to the end? And maybe Brody Hayes with a little bit of damage. Wonder, probably not too happy with AJ Stravado after that. And there's, how about Jeff Wright? Fuel only for the 48. Actually did not see him come in, but brought it in, got fuel. He'll win the race off of pit road. Then it's going to be Turner, and I think Weekly coming out, staying out there. And then AJ Stravado, Brody Hayes, and oh my goodness, AJ Stravado speeding on pit road.
That is not the luck he needed.
Wow. And we could have argued with the favorite into this race. A big mistake that's going to affect him here for this final stage. Remember, no more stages. No, not 3 stages, but 2 stages here tonight. And right now, starting the second one, Stravado is going to fall all the way back to probably 23rd. As did notice Cody Atkins still in pit road out of the race. Nick Gardner pulled it off of the racetrack, and he is in the garage, done for the night as well, I believe. And unfortunate there for AJ Stravado. That is not what you want to have. Wow, that is not what you want to have. That's for sure.
Maybe just a little bit of a lapse of judgment there. Can't quite say what might have happened, but that is very unfortunate for the 33 car.
Yes, it is, and unfortunately for him, he's going to drop back a whole lot. He's going to be a hard charger, but him winning this race now, I believe, is going to be very tough because he's going to have a lot of cars to have to get up through. It would be probably the most impressive win of AJ Stravado's career if he could come in and drive all the way back up front drive all the way back from what he's going to restart 22nd to the lead. I think that's going to be a tall task. Definitely
won't be an easy one, but if there's anybody capable of doing it, AJ Stravado is on that list.
Yes, that's for sure. And AJ, one of those drivers that's so good on the road courses. Speaking of other guys that are good on the road courses, the only guy to win on a road course this season, Jeff Wright, who's currently your leader and points leader. Oh, we pull him in here for a quick interview. Jeff Wright, Alec Martinez, Logan Thurkeld in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
I got you.
Well, man, a little bit different strategy. Took tires before the stage. Ran a couple seconds off the pace, and now it looks like, from what I could tell, well, now you got a chance here to get the lead. Took fuel only, and now here we are with the lead.
Yeah, at least we're gonna lead a lap here under the pace lap. We can at least guarantee that for a bonus point. I don't think I have the speed that Bailey, Brody, Adam, AJ, all those guys have. So ideally, if I can, cycle out to 4th, 5th. I think it'd be a win, but we ended up going more laps after my stop than what I thought we were going to do. So my tires are still in good shape, 99 all across, came in, topped off on fuel, and just was able to beat Bailey Turner out of the pits. So, yeah, I don't know, man. We're going to give it all we can up here. Try not to cause any trouble because I don't think it's our day to win, but we're going to still try to get a good finish out of this.
Well, I want to ask you, are you guys going to have to make one more pit stop here to the end, or are we good to go on fuel?
I believe we're going to have to stop. I don't think that we're going to be able to make it.
Gotcha. And with AJ obviously getting the speeding penalty, falling back to what will be, I believe, 21st, 17th to anywhere to 21st, I believe. So, going to be a tough road for him. But if you're looking for the top 5, I do got to ask, how much are the tires falling off from inside the car? How much does it feel like the loss of grip is even over 7-8 laps?
Yeah, it feels like a lot. So that's what makes me a little bit nervous here, having the, lap or two of running half pace on my tires, even though we were running them really slow. The tires do seem like they're wearing out a lot. So I don't know if I'll be able to have anything for these guys once we go green, or if I'm just going to, cycle out to the back because of the tire disadvantage. But I don't know. I mean, looking at the fuel right now, we might be able to make it if some people save, but I'm thinking I'm going to have to stop. I don't think I'm going to be able to stretch it. So I don't know. Should be interesting. We see what we can do here.
For sure. Well, we appreciate your time, Jeff. Good luck, and maybe we'll be talking to you at the end of this thing.
All right, thanks.
That's Jeff Wright, the leader right now. But see, I tend not to listen to him. He's not too confident because, well, he's won a championship for a reason. He's finished runner-up for the championship last year to, I believe, who was it? Ben Baffert. So very interesting. I mean, just what he's got an average points finish of 1.25. So yeah, I don't worry about him too much. And well, we're under caution, but we take a look one more time at the points. There's no updated points, but the points from going into this race, Jeff Wright, the points leader, Bailey Turner. Hey, ironic, the top two in points are the top two in the race, but could change as we go later into this race. Hatchel, third, Hayes, fourth, Stravato, fifth, and you can see the rest of the order down to 12th. Dallas Sullivan, the last car in the chase for the BTDY Cup. He's going to need a little bit better of a run. Running 16th right now, needs to find some positions because the guy who's chasing him in points, Keith Mayato, well, he's running 5th, so going to have to make up a lot here. Justin Carey not having the night he's been wanting to have. He's one spot behind Dallas. Max Costa having the greatest of nights either, but these guys are going to have to dig in a little bit deeper in these final two races. I believe next week we go to the Magic Mile, New Hampshire, and then week after that we're going to Charlotte. So that's going to be, and that's the regular season finale. So going to have to really get as many points as you can, and then who knows, this restart could be wild. And remember, if a pileup happens, yes, we'll get a caution. If not, we will get it green here to the end.
That's the beautiful thing about road courses, Alec. You know, it's no full course caution, and really anybody's ball game. I know I say that week to week at every track, but whenever it comes to road course racing, it truly is just kind of who gets the luckiest that night.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting here because we know, and like Jeff said, fuel could be an issue here, and we've seen Bailey Turner be one of those guys to try to save as much fuel as he can and try to make it to the end and look for his, third win of the season, won Michigan and won Nashville Fairgrounds, and like I said, looking for the third win of the season, trying to gain some points on Jeff Wright. As AJ Stravato pointed out, he is going to be restarting in 18th after a speeding penalty. Going to have to work himself up through guys who had a rough start. Now back in this, Angelo Ronis, Ryan Gemmel, pace car, going to make a right-hand turn and go up the hill and into the restart zone. Jeff Wright and Bailey Turner, the front row, stage 2, and the run to the finish is underway here, and we're back racing from Road America. Here we go into turn 1. Wright going to be on driver's left of Turner. Turner dives it into turn number 1. He'll get the lead, but Wright with the crossover has a chance. But with those older tires, will he be able to do anything? No, he won't. Stravato already making spots up to 15th. Behind them into turn number 3, got guys making moves here. Weekly underneath Pelican, they make contact here off of 3 and down. The back should still go. And AJ Stravato making a move on Ray Massey in the 23. And Massey lets him have the spot. Stravato up to 13th already on the restart, up 4 here. But will these guys, the leaders, be able to pull away into turn number 4? Faircloth locking it up behind. Almost contact here in the middle of the pack. Stravato in the middle of all that. Faircloth knocks it loose. Here comes Stravato, going to take Ronis and Faircloth 3 wide in the 33 on a tear. Up to the field, Jeff Wright dips the tire up through the grass. Pelican, big moment there. And now Wright losing spots. A lot of spots, I should say, falling back to 5th, maybe in outside the top 5 into 6th. He clips the grass there, knocks it sideways. Here comes Hatchel and Samard.
And not quite the restart that Jeff Wright was looking for there, but
I think AJ Stravato still a factor in this race.
Absolutely is. Already up to 10th place. He's on a mission.
Oh, right there. He cannot afford to slide the tires around too much. The question is, will he bring it to pit road? If they're going to cut this stage in half, do you want to push the first 15 laps and then go? But right now you can see him struggle. Oh, there's trouble in the king. Hard hit for Dallas Sullivan in the 46. Oh, no, that's Caleb Weekly, in the 7. Big hit, and I think suspension damage on the 7 car. And, oh, he's losing it some more. He's back into the wall, into turn 12. And, yes, heavy suspension damage. Got to watch out for his teammate in the battling in the points. But heavy damage to Caleb Weekly's car. Oh, he's around in the tire barriers. Oh, he clips down Alan Dice, and they're wrecking in the short chute. Wrecking in the short chute, Alan Dice. Knight goes from bad to worse. And we'll take a look there. This time here, he gets into Canada corner, and I think this time got a little bit. I mean, the car is broken. He's probably broke both sides of the suspension. Hits the tire barrier, comes back up, clips Dice. Dunphy, I believe, Koss just missed, but unfortunately, Alan Dice, not what he was hoping for. And well, we'll cut back live here as Weekly has pulled it into pit road, and up at the front, Bailey Turner, an 0.8 of a second lead over Adam Cabot, and about a 2-second lead over Keith Mayato, and AJ Servato up to 8th already. And Angelo Ronis down to 10th, and Pelican in the 9th as well. So Gemmel and Ronis have made up a couple spots to begin this run, but Turner, I think his mindset is, I got to get away from the 33 because he's still coming.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just incredible to see what he started in, 18th on that, and we're a lap and a half into it. Gained
Yes,
10 spots.
He is flying up to the field, and right now Jeff Wright's struggling with that 48 car. He is falling back to 8th. Bailey Turner loving what he's seeing with the 48 falling back, but he's not loving the 17 car being all up behind him. Jeff Wright, big moment. He is going to go off the track. He is off the track and dips the tire into the gravel, falls back to 9th, and might fall back to 10th here to Angelo Ronis. And the 48, like you said, stayed out on just 2-lap older tires, and you can see the difference in grip. He is just slipping and sliding around.
Even after all that time doing the pace laps, these guys are running anywhere from 2 minutes and 12 seconds to 2 minutes and 15 seconds when they're racing. Of course, you're much slower than that on pace, so a lot of time to cool down those tires, but it's just not working for Jeff Wright right now.
And the heat cycle does not seem to be working in favor of the 48 car, who has dropped 9 or 8 spots since the restart and continues to drop back, and especially falling off on the corners with pace and rear grip as the battle for the lead still heating up. Turner misses the apex. It should allow Cabot with a run up the hill. Will he have anything for Cabot, as you can start seeing Turner starting to shake the draft just a little bit here down the front stretch? Does Cabot have anything for him? Does he make a lunge to driver's right into 1? Here he comes, peeks the nose out. We'll think better of it and get back in line, although Turner going to miss the apex of 1. This should allow Cabot with the run. Down into 2, and now into turn number 3. Does Turner get to the apex? No, he doesn't. Cabot sets him up. Looks left to driver's right. Gonna tuck in behind and almost push him down the Sargento Bridge and down, I guess what you would call the middle stretch of this race. Now he's to driver's right, side drafting the 24, hard on the brakes is the 17, goes wide, wheel hops, almost makes contact with Turner. They do, and Turner holds on to the spot up the hill in the Corvette corner.
Fantastic try by the 17 car, Adam Cabot. Just that little bitty touch there on the back quarter panel of Bailey Turner just upset the suspension enough to not be able to complete a pass.
Yeah, and right now he's just he's doing a good job holding off Adam Cabot here. But I tell you what, though, it's going to be a tall task, and right now they are only 4.5 seconds ahead of AJ Servato, who's passed Chris Samard now finally, and Alex Pelican, and worked himself up into 6th. A little bit of a ways up to get to Seth Hatchel, but he's almost back into the top 5 after restarting 18th. That time, Turner had a great carousel and a great kink, and right now he is starting to pull away here from the 17 car of Cabot. He's moving about 6.5 tenths of a second. And look at this, Pelican makes a move on Chris Samard for what is the 7th position here, on the racetrack. The 31 has some pretty good pace. Good racing here. Dallas Sullivan and Ryan Gemmel battling. That's for, I believe, 13th on the racetrack. Here's by Joshua Banks. Is Jeff Wright? I don't know what happened. He's blinking out, I think. But Sullivan got the spot on Gemmel, and Gemmel to 13th. Mahalski is closed up on 4th. Here comes Jeff, or somebody's coming to pit. Or is that Seth Hatchel into pit road?
It is.
Wow, interesting call for Seth. how I feel about that. But yeah, he's into pit road. Jeff Wright, I believe, has had an issue. And if he's blinked out, that is not going to be good for the points leader. And he is fallen. He is not back in the server right now. So yeah, he is falling out. And that's going to put him in 21st. And I don't know if he can come back because, remember, no cautions to get him back on the lead lap. Bailey Turner leading this race might get the points lead if Jeff Wright disconnects from the server.
That's looking really good for the 24 driver, but very unfortunate race all in all for Jeff Wright.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I mean, it's looking really good for Turnabout. Although, he's going to have to fend off Adam Cabot here because Cabot is still all over the back of the 24. How about Brody Hayes up to third? Good run for him, and Shervada 4.5 seconds back from 18th to 4th. Back on the racetrack here, and it looks like Hatchel took fuel only that last time. Came out with relatively clean track. Oh, there's almost contact between him and Alan Dice. What Hatchel needs is to put together some solid laps. He's got a 12-second gap until the car ahead of him, which is Ray Massey. So now you just kind of got to go out there, run as many laps as you can. And right here, he's going to go to the end. So he's going to run about another 14 more laps, which will take him about 20 laps in total on his tires here. So now if your guys behind or the guys in front, are you going to pit for tires or are you just going to pit for fuel only?
It's hard saying, you know, Seth really just kind of set the standard there, but some of these guys are so far ahead, they might be able to sneak out some tires and still come out in front of Hatchel.
How about behind Hatchel, Dice and Cost racing each other. Cost going to get by for 15th out of the carousel and into the kink will the 63 go. These two have been battling for a little bit, and look at Dice, no back end, no bumper cover on that car. And how about Dennis Faircloth, another one brought it into pit lane to take fuel only. So interesting decisions by the 8 and the 80 to bring in Alex Pelican into pit road now. And these guys starting to realize that there's they're not going to make it on fuel, so now they're going to bring it in this time. And yes, Jeff Wright lost connection. He is going to be in 21st now. So big hurt for Jeff Wright in the points. We'll see where Pelican shapes out. Hatchel was ahead of him that last time, so we should see where the 31 merges back out. Is Joshua Banks, Ryan Gimmel battling the sets inside the top 10 now. And I believe Hatchel's going to get by Pelican. He will. I don't know about Faircloth. I don't think so. But more guys starting to bring it in. Dice is in. Cost stays out. But yeah, no, now makes you wonder if you're Bailey Turner, if you're Adam Cabot, when do you start bringing it in here as Turner has a second gap over Cabot? This is the battle here for 8th on the racetrack. Ryan Gimmel and Joshua Banks. Gimmel, a good recovery after, had some issues at the beginning of the race. Oh, there goes Banks. Goes wide here off a Corvette corner. And here they go into turn number 7. Gimmel on the outside, dirty part of the racetrack. Dips a tire off in the grass. Mahalski closing up. Down the hill into 8. Banks will lose one, might lose a second one to the 03 as the 6 goes by into 8th. And then there's Banks falling to 9th, and Mahalski, the last car now inside the top 10.
Back there a couple shots ago, you saw the 46 of Dallas Sullivan sideways. Looked like he locked it up going into that previous corner, and luckily has enough room behind him in 12th position that he was able to keep his position after a recovery.
Yes, sir, and good catch there. I did not see that, but good save out of Dallas if that's the case. And man, still good battling all over this racetrack. I mean, no matter where you're at on the racetrack, there's a battle somewhere. And right now, this is probably the closest battle between, I guess, Gimmel, Banks, and Michalski is Turner, Hayes, and Cabot has kind of got a little more try. And there goes Brody Hayes, the first one to pit. Interesting call here with 12 laps to go. How about that? Does this force the hand of everybody else to come in if they know they can't make it on fuel? And
Looks
who's
like
going to
Jeff
be willing
Wright.
to give up? Yeah, he's back on the track, but he's 2 laps down. And if you're the question now becomes, who's willing to take tires? You're going to lose a lot of time, but you can take tires, have fresh tires. And we saw even 2 laps a difference between Wright and the rest of the field. Is Hayes going to be willing to take 4 fresh tires here? He's in. He is. Brody Hayes taking tires. Interesting to see here. After 7 laps, he will be running these tires to the end now. Going to give up a lot of time, but he will have fresh tires. Actually,
Joshua
only takes
Banks
2.
off the track right
Takes
now.
4. Oh yeah, Banks off the track there, and off of turn number 3, loses a spot to Mahalski in the 03. But now Brody Hayes out of pit road, 14-second pit stop and 4 fresh tires. Keith Mayato gets passed by AJ Stravato. Man, this 33 car is just on another level in the second run. But he's got 4 seconds to make up to get to Turner, and I think Mayato, he might be saving fuel here.
I could see my auto going on a fuel save and, you know, trying to stretch it out all the way to the end. I don't know if it's going to work out for him or not, but it's quite the strategy that could give him the win if it plays out correctly for him.
It could, and let's see, Brody Hayes on the racetrack now, so we'll be able to see where he will cycle out. He's 14th right now, but he's falling behind Alex Pelican, but Hayes does have fresher tires, and we'll have to see next lap what his lap times are. And he was sitting about 2 seconds behind Bailey Turner, so if he gets 2 seconds a lap faster per lap, we'll see. He's currently right now sitting 40 seconds behind Turner, so we'll see a long way to go. And if Turner has to pit, then I think Hayes, we'll see where he cycles, but it'll be very interesting as Mayato and Stravato, these two always seem like they just can't get away from each other. These guys running 3rd and 4th on the racetrack, sitting about 4.5 seconds behind Turner, who's still turning pretty decent laps. Nobody yet pitting, and I think, nope, top 4 stay out. We'll see if, how about Chris Samard too? Solid run in the top 5 here, but I think he's bringing it to pit road.
And Angelo Rona's coming in behind him as well.
He'll stay out, so he'll
Ryan
move into the
Gimmel
top
go
5.
by.
Gimmel stays out. Mahalski bringing it down pit lane in the 03. Banks also bringing it down pit lane. So we'll see what Ray Massey does, as Hatchel is still behind Sullivan. Massey stays out another lap. Dallas Sullivan bringing it into pit lane. So give Hatchel another spot and give Pelican another spot and give Hayes another spot. Is Massey going to get a couple spots as well? So interesting to see. All these guys, curious to see, will the 03, will the 30, or will any of these guys, the 35, will they take tires? Or are they going to just take fuel only? So Mard takes tires. So interesting to see Banks taking fuel only, I believe. Yep, Banks takes fuel only. Mahalski takes fuel only. So interesting to see. And Banks going to jump Mahalski out of pit road. Ooh, man, that pit wall jets out at a weird angle. Almost some contact there. But yeah, very interesting to see. And that last time, or we'll see this time, looks like Cabot a second and a half, or excuse me, a half a second off. I wonder if he's saving fuel. It sounds like he's short shifting in the carousel. So Cabot might be on a fuel save here. See, he's still sliding around, but now we got to remember he's got 10 laps to go on a tank of fuel. That is 40 miles. Does he have enough fuel to get it to the end? 40 miles is a long way to go. And remember, if you run out of fuel on, you know, say in the short shoot of 13 and 14, it's very hard to get back to the start finish line because the hill incline is so massive. I think it's a 4 or 5 story incline because of the hill. And as we're on board with Adam Cabot, we'll see it here as he goes through 13, uses the left sides on the curves, gets the right sides back over the right rumble strips, and then you'll go into 14. If you were to run out of fuel right here, could you coast up this hill?
It's so hard to say.
Yeah,
Bailey
look at that,
Turner's
Bailey
going to
Turner.
bring it down.
Realize he can't make it on fuel. Does he come in and take tires? And where does he cycle out? Cabot will assume the lead of the race. That gives Stravato to second, Mayato to third, and Turner going to bring it into pit road. And remember, no caution, so cannot have any issue with the pit cycle. Is done for you. It looks like done for the day, so give right another spot. But it's going to be interesting here as Turner comes into his pit box. Will he take no tires? Will he take 4 tires? Is the question as Turner into pit road. Might have missed his stall a little bit, but it looks like Turner taking tires. Now, where does Brody Hayes cycle, who does have fresher tires? I'm curious to see the 37 down the front stretch here. Where is he going to cycle out ahead of Bailey Turner, who just got service done to his car? Hayes is just going to get by him into 1, so Hayes jumps to 24, but has older tires. As Turner on cold tires coming out of pit road right in front of the 31 of Pelican. So it'll be interesting now. Does Adam Cabot try to bring it down pit road? Does Keith Mayato or AJ Stravato try to bring it down pit road?
Almost think you have to at this point and at least take fuel. You know, if Cabot, Stravato, Mayato, if those guys come in and take fuel only, I believe that they will still come out ahead of Bailey Turner.
I don't know, man. It's going to be tough because of the pace. Hayes was 2 seconds back while he jumped to 24. Has older tires, though, 2-lap older tires than Turner. But, I mean, Turner's behind him, and we'll see how much the difference is going to be in terms of grip. As you can see, Hayes misses the corner there. Now, Turner goes wide into the dirt as well. So, this is going to hurt Turner's lap time to get around Hayes. So, if you're Cabot, if you're Stravado, you want to bring it in here. And if Stravado can somehow get the lead of this race, it'll be very, very, I mean, be one of the most impressive wins I've seen out of him. As Cabot, man, you can tell he is sliding around. But if these guys are willing to try to save it on fuel, they have a 36-second gap. So, that's a long way to go. I should say actually a 33-second gap over Hatchel, who we know is the first car good on fuel. So, and Hayes, who's the teammate of Hatchel, is sitting 3 seconds behind. And these two staying out once again. Keith Mayotto coming to pit road. Top two stay out. Does Massey, there's only 3 cars that have yet to bring it down pit lane now because Mayotto is in. Does he take tires? Try to overcut Turner. The top two going to have to go on older tires for another 4 miles as Hayes and Turner still battling. Look at this into turn 14. Almost contact between the 37 and 24. Hayes holds on to the position up the hill.
You can just tell those tires on the 24 are starting to warm up. He's got a lot of pace now.
And these guys full blast down the front stretch here as Turner's tires come up to temperature as they run down Seth Hatchel. There's Keith Mayotto in pit lane as Turner ducks out to driver's right here, trying to get the 4th position away. There's almost contact between these two. Turner uses him up a little bit. Hayes not willing to relinquish the spot. Into turn number 3 they go. And Hayes going to be the driver's left of Turner. Turner feeds him a fender. And looks like Turner gets the spot and moves back up into 4th. Cabot has lost the lead to Stravado. And I got to think Cabot is saving fuel.
It's hard saying. That last lap Cabot had was a 2:15.9, so he's not far off the pace at all. I almost wonder if he just got a little loose somewhere.
I don't know, man, but he definitely costed himself the lead there from AJ Stravado. Well, see if I can take. Oh, yes, he did. In Corvette corner, he made a mistake. Went off the racetrack, and it gave Stravado the lead. And Stravado, what a win it would be for him to go from 18th to the win after a speeding on pit road penalty. But remember, Bailey Turner is probably going to be the guy he's going to have to go through here. Is right now going to have 2-lap fresher tires right now if he pits this time by. As Stravado a 1.5 lead over Cabot. And I think if you're Cabot, do you save fuel to the end or do you go and try to get the lead?
No,
he's trying to bring it down pit road.
It's really hard to say with Cabot because
here he comes. Cabot into pit road. Wow. Cannot afford to speed here. Locks it up. Makes it though, but he's going to lose a lot of time to Turner and Hatchel here. And Hatchel now, who is the first car to make it on fuel, is right ahead of Turner. And this again costing Turner valuable lap time here, as Turner has pulled about a second ahead of Brody Hayes, and looks like Hatchel going to go defensive into 14, going to affect his exit. And Turner's going to get a big run down the front stretch here. And here comes the 24 with a run over the 8. The 8 car probably not going to have too much of an answer. Going to peek the driver's right as the 24. And there goes Bailey Turner. Going to reassume the lead of the guys that haven't pitted, as Cabot getting service to his car. Still in the pit road. Going to lose 2, 3, 4, maybe a 5th spot to Keith Mayotto this time. And he will. And he's still in pit road as Adam Cabot. Oh, yep, there it is. Speeding on pit road for Adam Cabot, I believe. Oh, no, wow, a 26-second pit stop. Wow, slow. No speeding on pit road. That's a slow pit stop. 26 seconds for Cabot.
Curious as to what happened there.
I don't know, but not the pit stop that's going to get him a shot to win this race. So Bailey Turner, it seems like all things in the world going right for the 24 car. As Turner got by Hatchel into 1, and AJ Stravado, the last car yet to bring it into pit lane, about a 1.7 seconds slower that last time by, is Keith Mayotto, the car with the freshest tires in the field so far. He and Ray Massey have the freshest tires in the field It will be interesting to see as Cabot has exited pit road now with the 17 being the car with the freshest tires. So we'll see where he shakes out. But Stravado, I got to think, now that everybody's pitted, do you bring it in here or do you try to save fuel now that you're the only car that hasn't pitted?
It's hard to say because he's got that 32-second lead ahead of Bailey Turner, and he can keep the pace, but it's just so difficult to say.
Creeping around the racetrack. I think he's going to try to go for it and save fuel. He's only got 7 laps, so it's going to be interesting to see if he can make it. 30 seconds is the gap. I mean, that's more than enough, but is it enough to get you all the way on fuel? And yes, he is coasting into the corners. It's AJ Stravado. He's got a 31-second gap to manage here, and I'm curious to hear it this time by what it sounds like here, but short shifting. You can hear him clutching into the corners. No engine sound whatsoever. Let it roll through the corners. We'll see this time by Stravado, almost a 216. Bailey Turner is going to turn a 213.6 that last time by. So still about a second and a half faster. That's not going to do it. But the question is, can Stravado make it on fuel?
And you can really hear Stravado backing down that corner each time, just trying to preserve as much fuel as possible. So I'd say he is definitely going for the long run here.
He sure is. His 2 teammates battling here for 3rd on the racetrack. That is Brody Hayes and Seth Hatchel. Alex Pelican has spun off of turn number 4. And he gets the ship righted back in the right direction, but unfortunately, looked like a mistake from the 31 who'd been having such a good night there. Looks like gets it loose in the corner, goes in the grass, no harm, no foul, but unfortunately going to lose a lot of time in a couple spots there, and he's lost 2 spots to Mayato and Samard, and falling a little bit further back to the clutches of Faircloth and Cabot, who has the freshest tires on the racetrack. And man, what a story it would be if AJ Stravado can win this race on fuel mileage.
That would just be a dream come true for him this week, that's for sure.
In a year where he's been having really good races, but in a year that's been so tough to get points and everything, he's been, I hate to say it, robbed of a couple wins this year, and I think he only has 1 to show for it with a win at Daytona in the season opener, and I want to say he almost got one more. He was very fast at Darlington. He was very fast at Sonoma. Had a chance at Jeff Wright, and then obviously was very fast at Atlanta, very fast at Dover last week, and just had a couple things go wrong, and unfortunately the execution wasn't right. As there's Brody Hayes going to get by Seth Hatchel here, and sliding around the 37 here as we're closing up on the 6 laps to go here. And Turner right now, he's turning good lap times, but it's not going to be able to make up 30 seconds on AJ Stravado.
Unless Stravado just has a serious issue like running out of fuel. Kind of looking like he's got this one.
Off the racetrack here. Going to lose a spot to Cabot, going to lose another spot to Angelo Ronis. It makes you wonder if these older tires starting to fall off here. Faircloth and Banks starting to run the 31 down. Cabot up to 6th, and now a 4-second gap to he and Chris Samard. And I just wonder, man, can AJ Stravado go, well, it will be 5 laps. That's 20 more miles on that tank of fuel where everybody else is good to go in the end. And I don't think anybody right now has anything for Bailey Turner. Keith Mayato starting to show a little bit of pace here. Oh, quickest time that last time by is Dennis Faircloth, Joshua Banks slipping and sliding around here in turn 4. And there's Keith Mayato with fresher tires than Seth Hatchel and a little bit of more fuel in the tank for the 36 car. And Keith's looking like he's got a chance here at the top 3. He's got fresher tires than Brody Hayes, and this is the night he needs to have, because he's right below that cut line, 1 point. And I would say it's been a dismal season for Keith Mayato, who's struggled to get good finishes, and really get caught up in other people's messes. Really hasn't been in any wrecks of any fault of his own, as Alex Pelican gives up 2 spots to Banks and Faircloth, and there goes Keith Mayato by Seth Hatchel, and Hatchel will let him have the position into the carousel. But yeah, I'll tell you what, Alex Pelican has really fallen off, and I think that slide on the tires the last time probably not helping the handling of that 31 car. But tell you what, we're gonna have a good battle. So Faircloth and Banks going at it here into the carousel, side by side, and Faircloth looked like he made a little bit of a mistake, got off the track, and Banks takes that spot away and moves the 80 back to 10th. Good racing all around, I must say here, and still as we got 5 laps to go from Road America, 20 miles left for AJ Stravado. Can he stretch it out on fuel?
He goes off the track.
Oh, he did, and now I think that allow. Looks like that's going to allow the 80 to get another run here. And here comes Faircloth, the driver's right here into Canada corner. Oh, he locks up! He goes off the track and into the gravel. And a big mistake from Dennis Faircloth battling Joshua Banks, and he loses a spot. It looks like Banks went wide, and then Faircloth had a big run, and fortunately a mistake for Dennis Faircloth going to cost him 1 spot.
I was worried for Faircloth there. I saw him kind of getting a little loose in that braking zone and just ended up locking it up.
And these cars are a little more susceptible to wheel hop. Wheel hop being going down into gear, the rear tires will lock up, the suspension will begin to jump, and it'll knock the car sideways. You'll see the back end start to fishtail. Unlike the next-gen cars that have the independent rear suspension where the rears just lock, these cars, you'll see the tire marks from the suspension because of how much torque it turns when going down gears. You'll see the little bit of tire marks from the wheels legitimately hopping. As right there, big moment there for Noah Mahalski, who's ran down Faircloth here in the 80, and these guys slowly but surely running down Pelican, who's running down Banks, and Ronish has kind of gotten away. And here, how about this battle for third into turn number 8? Hayes and Mayato, fresh tires here, freshest tires in the top 5 so far. Got a long way to go to get to Bailey Turner, but looked like he's got a good chance for a podium spot here.
He's been closing in on Brody Hayes for the last couple of laps, and finally, within a quarter of a second of him, I'd say now's the time to put a move on that 37 car.
The kink there. It's the apex of the kink, and right now it's starting to feel a little bit of the effects of the dirty air, I'm assuming, from the 37 car in the fastest part, or the fastest section of the racetrack here, in the fastest part of the course. Dennis Faircloth has went off again in turn number 8, and he's lost 2 more spots to Gimmel and Mahalski, but the battle back for third still raging on. And we'll take a look at the replay here. He pulled away another, looks like Will Hop again. Great save from the 80, although going to cost him 2 more spots. And right now, Dennis just needs to calm down a little bit, get back going here. And Chris Smart, I believe, went off in Canada corner and lost a spot to Adam Cabot back up to 6th, who's got now a 10-second gap to Seth Hatchel in the battle for third. Still going on between the 2 teammates, the 37 and 36, Mayato and Hayes. Hatchel not too far behind, but Mayato with that tire advantage should have at least a chance here to lunge it here. And look at the 37, gets loose and into turn number 2 and down into 3. Mayato going to get the spot on Hayes. Will Hayes try to cross him over? He will, but just doesn't have the drive off, and Keith Mayato, solid night from the man out of Canada, running in third now in the final podium spot. And the question is here, with 4 laps to go, still 16 miles to go for AJ Stravado, the Italian stallion, looking for his 2nd win of the season and looking for a big points night to close the gap on Jeff Wright, who is going to unfortunately come home with the 21st place finish. And Bailey Turner looks like will probably assume the lead of this race here, or the lead of the points after this race is over.
That little battle there between Mayato and Hayes really gave Hatchel an opportunity to set something up for a 2-for-1 here in the last couple laps, maybe put himself up on the podium for the 2nd time. Yeah,
a good run there from Keith Mayato, who's had a longer pace. I think Gemmel made a mistake, lost a spot to Mahalski, who's worked himself up into 11th. Trouble. Alex Pelican is off of the racetrack and I believe has pulled it to pit road.
He
up
has.
at Corvette corner. And another DNF for the 31 car, unfortunately. And that's going to cost him more spots in the points. And I don't know if that's going to, I think that's going to probably eliminate him from any point, or any chance at chase contention here, as that moves now the 03 car of Noah Mahalski to 10th and Gemmel to 11th, Faircloth to 12th. Banks holding a steady position in 9th, about 5 seconds ahead, 2.5 seconds ahead of him. is Angelo Ronis, and I believe Nathan Ostrowski exited pit road. So still a long way to go. And Cody Atkins, who's still running laps, I don't think he's going to run down Jeff Wright, but still completing laps on the racetrack. And Joshua Banks running in 9th, going to Canada Quarter. There's Ryan Gemmel in 11th. Noah Mahalski not too far up ahead of him, only a second ahead. This is probably the closest battle until we get to Hatchel and Hayes. But right now, these guys probably the closest, and this is the last spot in the top 10 here.
Big point spot right here from 11th to 10th. So I think that Gemmel will be looking to make a move here. Hopefully.
Gemmel Mahalski in the points quite well, and Gemmel a little bit outside the points, but still has a chance to maybe point himself in if he absolutely needs to, because right now Keith Maotto is going to probably get himself well inside the top 12 by a couple points over Dallas Sullivan, and especially over Mark Emerson, who I believe might fall to the cut line, who's missed the last 2 weeks. So Emerson going to be in a little bit of a hole going into New Hampshire next week, and what will be an interesting race to say the least with the Xfinity cars is Gemmel caught back up to Noah Mahalski. That's for the 10th position, last spot in the top 10 down the middle stretch, and going to be into the hard left-hand turn of turn number 4. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, AJ Stravato still on a fuel strategy. Can he make it to the end on Sunoco Racing fuel? And when he comes by, he'll still have 8 miles to navigate to make it on fuel. And like we said, it restarted 18th on the restart, drove up inside the top 5, and now trying to save fuel. Does it make you wonder, Logan, did he save any bit having to drive up through the field, or did he cost himself a little bit of fuel?
You know, it definitely would have cost him a little bit of fuel, but he made such quick work of the whole field that it might not have affected him too much. And he's had plenty of time to, really just save the last 10 laps or so. And now he's got draft in front of him to help him out a little bit more.
He's built the big gap, and there's Justin Carey unlapping himself from the 33. Max Cost right behind them, and you can see the 33 sliding around. He's on 16-lap old tires. That is a long way to go on Goodyear's. Here is Mahalski and Gemmel still battling here for what I believe is the 10th position, I should say. And Gemmel had another one of those guys who's had to claw his way and fight his way through the field after what was dismal first stage, fell all the way to dead last on the first lap, worked himself up to, I believe it was 14th, 13th, 14th, and now battling for the top 10. Same with Angelo Ronis, got spun on lap 1 in turn 4 into the gravel pit, got out of it, and he's running in 8th here and might have a chance at 7th if he closes up to Chris Samard here in the next couple of laps. So Angelo Ronis, good pace here at the end of this run. Is 2 laps to go from Road America. Maybe a lap and a half to go on AJ Stravato's part, as Gemmel and Mahalski has settled down for the last couple bit of laps. As Mahalski makes a mistake, Gemmel closes up here, and I think this is so far the closest battle on the racetrack is between 10th and 11th here, the final spot in the top 10. Still 19 cars running in a 24-car field. There's same field as last week that we had it.
Not positive what's happened to Alec here, but I believe he was about to say same. There we go.
May or may not have hit the wrong button, but we're all good. It's the same field that we had at Dover, so not bad. But yeah, man, these guys, what a race we saw tonight. I mean, the first stage, absolutely awesome. Watching these guys beating and banging, racing for the lead. We saw Stravato make mistakes, but this time he's got a lot to do it after saving fuel. And man, what a story it's been for AJ Stravato. A roller coaster of a race. He's got 4 miles to navigate to see if he has enough fuel to make it to the end. 1 lap to go in the Up There Disc Golf 100 from Road America. Can Stravato make it? Here he's basically on fumes. He's still clutching and coasting into corners. If he runs out, he's got 4 miles to make it back and a 19-second gap over Bailey Turner. And man, what a win it would be for AJ Stravato here. If he can make it on fuel, he's still got a long way to go. He's got 11 turns to navigate as Wesley Dunphy off the racetrack there in turn number 3. Here they come down into the hard braking zone of turn number 4. Is there enough fuel in the tank for the 33 car of AJ Stravato, the Italian stallion, looking for his second win of the season as he goes wide, going to cut the curb, go off into turn number 4, up into Corvette corner for the final time for the 33 car, the only car that tried to stretch it on fuel, off of 6, going to go into 7, the left-hander, and down into 8 is how about Justin Carey and Max Koss battling behind them. Max Koss going to get the position for 15th there behind the 33, battling still 1 lap down into turn number 8 and into the carousel, which will be probably the hardest turns to navigate here because there's still a long way to go for Stravato. He's now halfway through the lap, still another 2 miles for Stravato to go. Does he have enough fuel to make it? And if he does, he's going to get his second win. And if he doesn't, can that car make it up the hill with no fuel? He's into turn 11, into the kink now, and off into 12. Into 11, and now he'll set his sights into turn 12, 20 seconds ahead of Bailey Turner. Can he coast his way to the end? He's coasting. He's way off the pace. Is there enough fuel in the 33, into Canada corner for the final time? AJ Stravato, can he do it? Into 13. He's very, very slow, creeping his way through the turns into 13. And now up the hill to 14, or off of 14, and he'll face the hill. Basically sputtering out of line, but what a redemption and a comeback story. The Italian stallion back in victory lane as he's going to make it on fumes up the hill. AJ Stravato will get his second win of the season, and he does it on the road course at Road America. Stravato, second win of the year, going to lead 9 laps and get a win. Bailey Turner, he tried and tried, but he'll get second and come home 1 spot short once again. Keith Biato going to get a 3rd place finish and still battling on the racetrack. How about Ryan Gimmel getting by Noah Mahalski here down the backstretch here, and we'll be into turn number 12 into Canada corner, the only closest battle on the racetrack, happening in about a minute behind AJ Stravato as Gimmel gets into the corner. Mahalski not going to happen, and Gimmel will hold on to the final spot in the top 10 here. He's got 2 more corners to navigate. But Stravato the winner, Turner 3rd, Mayato 4th, Hayes comes home 5th. Hatchel gets a top 5 to back up his win from last week with Cabot, a 6th place finish. Samard comes home 7th. Angelo Ronas 8th, Joshua Banks 9th, and Ryan Gimmel will round out the top 10 as he'll come home in 10th, and a great rebound finish for him over Noah Mikulski in 11th. And what a win for AJ Stravato. Barely going to make it on fumes as he's turned it backwards and I guess getting a nose-to-nose push from his teammate Bailey Turner. And man, what a win for Stravato. 18 speeds on pit road and saves fuel to the end. And well, we're going to have to talk to him pretty soon as we'll let him make his way back around the racetrack, and we'll go to a quick commercial break, but we'll be right back to talk to your top 3 finishers from the Up There Disc Golf 100 from Road America. Stick around. We'll be right back for post-race interviews.
Sailor Tarot Magic is the spot to get a reading from Sally, an intuitive healer and tarot reader. Known as the nurturing reader at New Jersey street fairs, you can also check out our YouTube channel for lunar and astro readings, as well as our Instagram for live weekly readings. Her rates are affordable, and you will leave with a newfound perspective. Sally is now offering an introductory class on tarot cards and intuition, and is available for parties. Call or text 732-314-0777 to schedule your reading today.
back here live from Road America at the conclusion of the Up There Disc Golf 100. And boy, oh boy, what a race it was. Let's take a look at our finishing results as the conclusion of the races. We'll get to post-race interviews in just a few minutes. As one caution, obviously the stage caution, but 5 lead changes, and AJ Servato en route to his second win of the season as he wins on a fuel mileage strategy over 17 seconds, almost 18 seconds over Bailey Turner. Then Keith Mayato, third, rounding out the final spot of the podium. Then Brody Hayes, the pole sitter, comes home fourth. Seth Hatchel comes home fifth. The Magic Man out of Cabot in sixth. Chris Samard, seventh. Angelo Ronis, great rebound for him in eighth. Joshua Banks comes home ninth. And Ryan Gimmel, another one with a good rebound in 10th.
And behind them, in the 03, 10th or 11th position, Noah Mihalski. Dennis Faircloth behind him in 12th. Ray Massey in 13th. Dallas Sullivan coming home in 14th. Max Cost in 15th. Justin Carey in 16th. Nathaniel Ostrowski in 17th. Alan Dice 18th. Wesley Dunphy 19th. And Alexander Pelican in 20th.
In 21st was the 48 of Jeff Wright, going to hurt him for his points lead. In 22nd was Cody Atkins. 23rd was Caleb Weekly. Mark Beverly, Nick Gardner was 24th, and Mark Beverly did not race here tonight, so does not get points. But Nick Gardner rounding out the field tonight. But we move on to our post-race interviews with third place finisher Keith Mayato. Let me see if I can pull him in here. There he is. Keith Mayato, Alec Martinez, Logan Thurkeld in the booth, buddy. You got a copy?
10-4.
Well, man, we were talking about you at the beginning of the race. You need a good points day. Mark Emerson doesn't show up, and then Dallas Sullivan didn't have the greatest of nights, but you come home with the third place finish. Going to knock yourself now inside the top 12 for the chase for the BTDY Cup. How does this run feel to finally get a top 3?
It's about time. It seems like it's one of those things that you wonder, like, do I still have it to make these finishes? But tonight, other than all the mistakes I made in the second stint, it was a great finish overall.
For sure. And now, I mean, and again, looking really good for your points down to knock yourself in. The next 2 weeks, New Hampshire. I want to focus next week, New Hampshire. I know your teammate Brody Hayes is going to be pretty good there. Yourself, you haven't been too bad there the last few years with good finishes. I know you've gotten caught up in some incidents there, but if overall so good pace, what are you looking forward to do next week to keep yourself in that top 12?
Just finish well with top 5, top 10. No more 20th place finishes with DNFs. I can't take any more of those.
For sure, and you're going to have to stay ahead of the 46 and 22 and maybe a couple of the cars as well. Well, we appreciate your time, Keith. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to all my teammates at VSPEED and Up There Disc Golf for sponsoring the race tonight. And, of course, awesome job that you do in the booth, Alec.
Appreciate you, and I'll just have you notice the points have been updated. You are now 7 points ahead of the cut line, so have moved in. So it'll be very interesting to see between a couple guys. I mean, looks like going to be 11 points separating 8 guys here for 4 spots. So, well, we appreciate your time, Keith, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again next week out in New Hampshire.
Well, the pressure's on. Thanks, Alec.
No problem, brother. Well, have a good night.
You too.
And that's Keith Mayato, third place finisher here tonight from Road America. And I believe Logan, he's standing here with the 24 of Bailey Turner.
Yeah, I've got Bailey Turner down here. Second place finish tonight, Bailey Turner. You got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Well, man, you had a great race. You can't deny that at all. Started third, led 11 laps, so a couple points there. But second place finish overall. You came out of the pits that last time with about a 35-second gap on AJ Stravato. Just kind of walk me through what were your thoughts there at that point, and did you think that you were able to, work your way back up there?
Yeah, my thoughts were not again, because AJ's beat us on the pit strategy here before, and realistically for him, you can make the argument that his speeding penalty he got early in the race kind of put him in position there to go with that alternative strategy, and obviously also besides that, his pace was pretty stellar. I had my hands full there when we were battling there for the stage, and that feels like one that got away. There's not many races I'd say that I'm like have top 2 speed throughout the entire race. Maybe short tracks and that kind of thing, and It's just frustrating, but can't be too frustrated with P2. Just this is my favorite, definitely my favorite road course. I feel like there's just so many opportunities, like you saw with passing, and really pays off if you're good with the tires and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, this is definitely going to feel like one that got away. But yeah, appreciated all the clean racing up front. AJ, Brody, Adam, all the guys that I was around. You know, we didn't do anything too stupid to take each other out of contention. So that was nice. I got taken out at Atlanta, so that definitely hurt the points last week. So just trying to claw those points back. Obviously with Jeff, he's a teammate, so it sucks that he didn't. Internet kind of cooked him there, but I guess that's one more in the bag for us. So we'll take it.
Absolutely, and it's like you said, Jeff Wright finishing 21st as a teammate. That's not something you want to see, but he went into this race in the first place position. I believe, Alec, if you said the points were updated, where is Bailey sitting at now?
Bailey, you are the points leader by 9 points over Jeff now.
All right, we'll take that.
Absolutely, and going into New Hampshire as the points leader next week, you got to be feeling pretty good. How you feeling towards the end of this regular season?
It's nice to kind of get that momentum back going. Definitely feel like, obviously, going into New Hampshire next week, Jeff is so good there. So it's going to definitely be a guy like him, Joshua Banks, Brody, Seth. I mean, there's so many guys that are so good there at those kind of shorter tracks that I'll have my hands full. But like you said, having a little bit of a cushion going into next week is nice. And, there's not as much pressure trying to, if it was a 1 or 2 point gap, trying to manage that, a little more room there going into the final weeks of the season is good. So just want to say congrats over there to AJ. Told him he broke my heart, but managed to pull the old Jimmy Johnson, Chase Elliott, pushed him all the way around the track to get him to the start finish. So happy for him, and thanks to you guys for all the work you guys do. Can't wait to go back and watch this broadcast and have every emotion hit me again when I cross the finish line in second place. So appreciate you guys, appreciate the admins for putting up with us.
Absolutely, Bailey. And again, great race tonight, P2 finish. Like we said, can't be too mad about it. You seem to be in good spirits, and that's all that matters going into next week.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
And that was Bailey Turner with second place. Started out in third, 11 laps led. Just couldn't quite catch back up with AJ Stravato on that fuel-saving strategy. So, unfortunate turnout for him, but a great race overall. And I believe, Alec, you are now with AJ Stravato, our race winner.
Yes, sir, we are. And let me see, get him here. There is AJ Stravato, the Italian style. You got a copy, buddy?
Got a copy.
Well, man, we talked to you before the race. You said that there was a good shot you can win this race. Put yourself a little bit in a bind there at the beginning, or the beginning of the second stage, having to restart 18th, but you save enough fuel to get yourself to the end and get your second win of the year. How does it feel to finally close one out?
Yeah, sure to hell don't make it easy for myself between qualifying and me and Brody battling really hard and just wearing out the rears. Just honest to God, trying not to run the hell into him with all the blocks. But it was good fun. I cannot believe I saved that much fuel. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I started that run, I was kind of like, well, if we can make a recovery run, that'd be great. And I saw my caps and my fuel calculator saying like I committed to saving a lap. It was like I might be able to make it. So just committed to that with like 12 or 11 to go. Had decent pace and won. So pretty shocked. Didn't make it easy for myself, but feels really good, man. Love road racing, so it feels good to win.
Yes, sir. And you've closed up a lot of points there, and now only sitting 15 points behind Bailey Turner, 6 points behind Jeff, and 1 point behind Seth here. And then 2 points behind you is Brody here for the regular season championship. Probably going to be between you five from the way it looks in points. Next week, go to New Hampshire. How do you feel about maybe closing the gap on Jeff and Bailey and Seth?
I've been pretty decent at New Hampshire in the past. I feel like these heavy braking tracks with the road racing I've been doing have really been, I guess, starting to suit in my favor. So I've run well there in the past. So hopefully we can continue that. Just I've never been good at the Xfinity car, so hopefully we can do well there at New Hampshire.
For sure, man. Well, we appreciate your time. And is there anybody you want to give a shout out to here for this win tonight?
Yeah, just the race sponsor actually got it up here. The disc golf up there, disc golf 100. That's awesome that they came on board. All the league admins, Simulators Anonymous, Below the Double Yellow, VSPEED, all the guys that make it happen for this league, and all my teammates for making it a lot of fun during that race, and Bailey for had a lot of good pace. So he was that was a hell of a challenge he put up at the first stage.
For sure it was. Well, we appreciate your time, AJ, and congratulations as well. And hopefully we'll be talking to you next week out at New Hampshire at the Magic Mile.
I hope so too, man. Have a good one.
You too. Appreciate you, and have a good night. Go celebrate.
Yes, sir.
And that's AJ Stravato, race winner here tonight from Road America in the Up There Disc Golf 100. Ladies and gentlemen, what a race we saw, Logan. Any closing thoughts and what we're looking forward to seeing at New Hampshire?
You know, it's going to be a tough one. There's a lot of guys that are really good at tracks like New Hampshire, as the, podium guys stated here. So it'll be a battle next week for sure. It's going to be very exciting. I believe Adam will be back for that one with you. I'm not entirely positive, but I kind of hope that I'm here for it, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun, but I appreciate the time that you filled in there for Adam. And if we see you next week, I look forward to seeing you next week. But if not, I do look forward as well to seeing all of you viewers coming back next week after another great race week. And again, appreciate all of you guys tuning in and continuing to support VSPEED and continuing to just make it awesome for us. And these guys, of course, at BTDY, putting on a show week in and week out. And again, as always, my name is Alec Martinez, and joining me tonight was my producer and co-commentator Logan Thurkeld. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We look forward to seeing you all next week at the Magic Mile at New Hampshire. But until then, have yourself a safe and great week, and we'll see you once again next week back at 8:35 p.m. Eastern for New Hampshire, and what will be the Martin Sports 150. And until then, have a good night, and we'll see you next week. He goes high. Shimano block. Turns the 33.
Contact there entering turn 1.
Around goes the 9. Oh, he comes back at the track and he gets clobbered. Josiah pitches it up into the air.
Here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh!
Cabot,
where did he come from? Here comes Swack.
A punch for the 33.
It's a drag race.
The